that's the reason why we start with prana mudra, so to remove the blockage through concentration and through movement. It is a body movement, but inside. With your concentration, you move the pranic force. If you really concentrate, you have to bring the energy, the pranic, prana, apana, up and down with your concentration. It's a physical movement, because you give support to the body and the breath and the lungs, and with the concentration of your mind, you bring the prana up and down, and you get the awareness of this prana flow. When the nadis are purified, so then the pranas can flow free. And through this prana mudra, you can activate one and you can remove the blockage of the nadis, so that the prana will really flow. Free attack. Okay. So very important is to use your hips. Or you can attack the elbow. So. Up to this point. It's a very strong position. So for the you have to use your hips. The body is like a vessel from the feet up to the crown. And you can fill this vessel with prana. But in this vessel gives different, they are very fine channels. And the major channel is Sushumna. Sushumna is one very major nadi inside the spine. But if you concentrate inside the spine, there's a different, very subtle movement from the Shakti. And then there is a different concentration. So you activate your energy inside the spine. And Swami Rama says, and Swami Vida says, if you really want to meditate, you have to activate Sushumna. You have to enter Sushumna. And that is this concentration of this very fine channel inside.
Because my mind is following her, so she does that and I fall down.
Not your position. Stay there.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. Don't move your feet. Move you together. Oh, okay, well, in that case. I know I'm supposed to come on with you.
Bring up. Bring your head up. Bring your head up.
Prana is always there. Without prana, you had a dead body. So, but by the most people, the prana is not really working properly because the body and the prana force and the subtle body is blocked because of the toxins and all the stiffness and whatever, and the body blocks the prana flow. So you have to purify the nadis. They give different methods to purify. One is nadi shodhana. And through movement.
Step forward.
You see, all these movements in the martial art are circular movements. So, relaxation movements. So if you are stiff, you cannot move in this manner. So that's all the pranas are, and the kundalini are circle movements. So the whole universe, you see the circle movements. So if you make the body relax and make the circle movements, you remove the blockages.
So don't stretch his arm, because you have to cut the movement here, that the energy goes to his spine. So I can control him and have the arms free. Is she coming? Come on. Oh, I have two. One is enough. Okay.
Very important that you have very relaxed joints. The joints are stiff, blocked. Relaxed body. You see Swami Vida, he has a very relaxed body. After death, very relaxed body. He controlled his body after death, so the body was relaxed. So, not stiff. Normally people, after one day, their body is stiff. No? So, but not for the yogis. So the body is relaxed. They have control after death over the body. So through prana, through the mind. So that is important to remove the blockages and remove the toxins, and then to bring the concentration of the prana flow. Is there more concentration, more intensity? When you are not aware of that, you have most people have the experience when they are working very hard and the mind is occupied with all these different activities. In the evening, they have no power. All the power is gone. If you be aware of this prana flow and you have a concentrated mind, you can work very hard, nothing happens. Because you hold the prana force, you hold your energy. That's the difference between normal people and yogis. Swami Rama worked 20 hours a day. So, I never seen him this way. Swami Vida, you see with all this illness, he was very concentrated, very strong, his mind. Body was weak, mind very strong. You know, if you really come three times a week to Aikido, you have more power. So when you come only once a month, no power. So mind disturbed. So if you really practice every day, that is the most important thing. Practice regularly every day. Then you have all the power. And you deepen it through meditation. So step by step. So that is very important, that you have practice every day, 1 hour, or you have practice every day, maybe half an hour meditation, half an hour make prana movements or relaxation, and then the power will be there. We have lost this experience and this knowledge to hold the power. So we always give up all our energy where we are not aware of that. And then we make no progress.
Break the balance.
Progress means to hold the energy, stabilize the mind, steady. Swami Vida wrote a book about Sthiti Prajnam, loving from the Mahabharata. There is one capital about that, so Krishna teaches Arjuna. So, a steady mind, so stabilized mind. So it depends from your practice. No practice, no stability.
Wrist on your body. Normal. Step. Yes. On the wrist. Wrist. Backward.
if you really concentrate on one object, maybe one movement, that's one form of pratyahara. So you're aware of one movement, the mind is concentrated and not disturbed through other influence from outside. So it's one part of the pratyahara. So if you see beginners when they started, they make one movement, then the mind is going around. Then they have no discipline to practice over a long time one movement. Because the mind is disturbed, they started, after some minutes the mind is going around, so then they start again, then the mind is going around, then they start again, and so on. All the disturbance. But I'm very soft. When I started my Aikido practice, we never spoke on it. So focused on one movement, then next movement. But not talking, not let the mind going around. If you really see advanced masters, maybe in sword or archery, whatever, they really have the focus on. So they give us a nice story. One Zen master and martial art master had a student, and the student wanted to learn from him to make a fight with the sword. So he said, okay. Then in his room, he had a small room, and on the ground he makes some papers. If you walk, you're making noise. He said, if you can move in this room without noise, then I will start to teach you. So this student, when he enters this room, he makes a noise, bam, he gets a stone in his ribs. So whenever he makes a noise, bam, he gets some hit or whatever from the master. And all the body was green and blue, and so, because he cannot move without noise. After years, he can move in this room without noise. Then he comes out, and the master said, okay, you have mastered the art. I don't teach you in this word. You have mastered the art. So you can go. So that's pratyahara. So that's an important link in the yoga tradition, and it is not teaching. The teaching is missing the teaching of pratyahara. So Swami always try it here. He said silence and so on, go inside, let not the mind wander and so on. But what I see is all the people have their smartphones and they're looking here, looking there, computer, whatever, and the mind is going on outside and not really focused. If somebody attacks you, you have to use his energy. But you're stuck. Like he's coming from. You have to move together. So, you have the control if he comes up. Huh? You have the control over his body. You have to have the contact together. Again. Long time ago I had some children classes, but just now it is very difficult to teach children because they are so disturbed, because they was all sitting and looking at their games and TV, etc. And they have no, not big motivations to move the body. Yeah, that's a worldwide problem.
If you have pain, you can do this. Position. Distance. So, you work with somebody together. So, if somebody comes to you, use his energy. The both hands. Okay? Again. Somebody attack, you cannot go in this direction because I need it. Well, you have to face to face. If you make this, we have no control. On this hack. No? So, no? So, relax. Oh, yeah. If you have pain, make a noise.
So when I start my classes 20 years or 25 years ago, so up to a special maybe 2-3 years, they work very nicely, and then they stopped. Come another fashion in the school, and they go to this fashion, and so on. And it's very difficult to bring the children to over long years to in practice. And just now I have two men. They started with 14 years. And they are now 40 years in my class. And very, very rare that they have so long practice, continuous. Now they are married and have children and so on. But they started when they were 14 years, and they are practicing 40 years with me together. So that's very nice. So yeah, Sebastian, he started when he was a child here, and then we see just now the old man, young man, and still practicing. So, but it is rare today. And the modern society, the children are most of them very disturbed. And to bring them continuous to practice and with the body, it's not so easy. So I stopped after some time. I stopped the practice with children. So it is too exhaustive. That's all thing for me. So, and but it is a big problem worldwide. So in every country, to bring children more in this movement, and especially in Berlin, there was a institution with disturbed children and adults. So they have mental problems and so on. And they come of difficult families and so on. And then we started practice with this group once a month. And we have no expectation what happens with them. But it has an influence. After some years, we were astonished that they really grasp something from only once a month practice. If you really work there very concentrated, it can be a deep impression in her mind. So, so they have some memory about that. After years, some comes and said, yeah, I have practiced with you. So, and we are very astonished what happens. No? Very little on time what we have done, but it depends from what you give on concentration power to these children. Then they feel there's something what is useful, and then they started, or they have a memory about that. And sometimes it's helpful for them. But now it's really, I thought I was working 5 years in a school, and it was 30 years ago, and it was difficult to practice with these boys and girls. Especially in the age between 14 and 18. It's a very dangerous age, so especially for the girls. So that's very confusing. So, but it was a very interesting experience.
Oh, let's go in every direction, but not together. No, it's a natural movement. It's a natural movement. Together.
Manas is this part of mind what is related to the senses. So normally we have no control over the physical body and not control over our nervous system. So meditation is the best method for that. But they give some steps before. So maybe movement, concentrated movement like Tai Chi or whatever, Aikido also. It is a step so to get aware the body-mind connection.
Behind the body and down.
So the whole experience happens in the mind field, not in the body. But we think we have some experience through the body, and that's not true. Body is just instrument.
Sound and
It always functions through the mind.
again.
If the mind is gone, body is dead. No experience anymore. So we have to learn what happens really between body and mind relation. And most people have no awareness of that. So they're living so on the surface, they think when their body has pain or whatever, so they are so linked that they have no distinction between body and mind. They're different instruments. They are connected by their different instruments. But for the most people, there's only one. They're thinking all this was an experience over the body. It is a body experience. It is not true. All it happens in the mind, not in the body. Body is death's instrument. If you see death's body, what is this? So, no life force inside. So, no experience. We only have a very limited consciousness about our mind. So we are always on the surface and we are thinking that's the whole mind, but it's not the whole mind. We are living in a world and full of confusion, and our minds are part of this confusion. And we are thinking that is our way of living. That's a really wrong way of living. So we disturb and we destroy our personality. So we have to come back to more stability and more stillness in our mind. And that we can achieve through practice. The practice is so to concentrate on one movement. So sometimes we change the movement, but to come together in one moment. We have to get an awareness of the whole body, whole prana, whole mind, so step by step. First, the mind is so confused, you did not know what right leg, right arm, left arm, and so on. But if you really have the concentration on your body, of your whole body, because the whole body is in your mind, so then you're aware of the whole body in every moment. So we get more stability in the mind field, and with more stability we can go deeper in the mind field. You can improve your awareness through the practice. The highest is meditation. Over a long time you get more stability and you can concentrate and your awareness is expanding. Through concentration and meditation, slowly you can get control over this system. But it is a special science. You have to master this science. So that in the Yoga Sutras described, so samapati means these achievements through samadhi. No? What you can really achieve on awareness and consciousness through the different samadhis. But that's a long way. What's very important is calm your mind. So we are so disturbed because of the input what we took inside. So all this technical and all this entertainment and all this poison what comes from outside, what we talked yesterday. So pratyahara is a very important step to stop all this disturbances what comes from outside, inside, so on. And if the nervous system is disturbed, so all the organs are disturbed in their function, heart, stomach, etc. So. And so if you really can stop that, so the inner organs are worked properly. And the brain waves are not agitated, because the mind controls the brain waves. So, but if you have a disturbed mind, the brain waves are disturbed and your nervous system is disturbed. So if you calm down your mind, then the brain waves changed. And then you get more control over your nervous system. They get different paths. One path is through pranayama to control the brain. And it gives other paths through meditation to control the brain waves. So that is a real science, to experience the different parts of your personality and to master that. That's the science of yoga. So yoga is the science of your own personality. So you can start with the gross body, so like in asana or whatever you do with body movements, you can experience the body, how can you use the instrument. Then comes the next step. So the link between body and mind is the breath. So in all the spiritual traditions, you have this breath awareness. The next step, prana awareness, and so on. If you really regularly meditate, concentrate mind every day, 1 hour, you have more strength for all the other activities.
So awe, it comes from I think comes down. All right, this way. So, in the right movement, I use his energy with my energy together.
What we experience normally is very small part of the mind. And the practice is if we have more concentration on one object, so we get more stability in the mind field, and with more stability we can go deeper in the mind field. So that is the practice. We need practice.
So yes, all the hands free. So again, the first movement. 1, 2. 1, 2. Elbow and hips together. Again.
So if we go deeper in your concentration, in your mind field, so you have more clearness and more awareness of what happens around, and you have more control over your activity, especially to the body and to the prana.
No connection, no control. So it's very important to have the control. First movement. Second movement. Depends from your posture.
So if you clear your mind, you can see through your mind, not through the senses.
Again, try. Be careful.
So you use the mind for perception, so not the senses. So that is when you really go deep in your mind and have stability, you can see much more than normal people. That is an achievement you can reach to meditation.
Einmal rechts, einmal links. Nicht links, nicht links. Auf die andere Seite gehen. So. So. What is with your mind? I said one step forward or one step forward. So simple. To make it so complicated. We will discuss next week why your mind is so disturbed. So simple. So think about how your stability. So, okay? So think about your stability. If you are stiff, if you relax, concentration on your nervous center, more stability. Okay. Not? Bong. Bong. Tuck. One step in front. So. One side, another side. It's very simple. Okay, concentrate again.
In the martial art, this is one of the most important things to stabilize because you cannot use your power if you're not stabilized. In every martial art, if you see in karate or in the wrestling and so on, sumo, They are very, very stable. So, and especially when you work with a sword, you have to control Muladhara. You cannot really cut if you have not control over Muladhara. So my Aikido master told me a story when he said there was a fisher boat outside. It was a hurricane and the boat was shaking and so on. And one after from the fisher goes over the board in the sea, and only one was standing on the, what is this, on the pillar, no? The mast, no? On the pillar, no? And hold his body, and he closed he make some mudra with a mula bandha, so hold the root lock and hold his whole body on. So he survived. All the other people died. So because there's a strength, no? He hold the prana force in the body, and he hold the strength, and so then he survived. So that is an important practice. In the old tradition, in the ashrams, there was, in many ashrams, especially in the monasteries, teaching about martial art. It was belongs to the tradition, but it is lost. Especially in the Buddhist monasteries, there was gives a long history about that, about training in martial art and meditation and so on.
So, be aware of the whole body, not of one part. That's very important. So, if she attacks here, you have to move the whole body. Connection.
In Indian culture, so you have same tradition. In some maybe old ashrams from the old tradition, Vedic ashrams, they give some teaching in martial art, especially archery. So I've seen an ashram from Swami Vivekananda between Rishikesh and Delhi. So very, very simple, very maybe orthodox ashram, so not a modern ashram, and they're practicing archery. So it's an old tradition. So, but in the most cases, the tradition is gone, it's lost. So, and to teach it regularly, you need some advanced teacher in the ashram. And when we started here years ago, 10 or more than 10 years or 15 years ago, when the Gurukulam starts, that was very difficult because the Gurukulam was not very well organized in this time. And when I started, they get a shock. So, and then all the students run away. And Swami Veda said, okay, let them run away, so because they are not good organized, so, and I stopped the teaching. And so it is missing.
Very nice. She's too late, because then I come. Yes. Yeah. One hand in front. Go in front. Yes. Well, if we are too late, so I press. Then it's difficult. So, yeah.
In every big city, you have the criminals and all that, in Berlin too, and it depends from your mental state. If you're afraid, something happens. If you're not afraid, then other people know it's better not to fight. I remember 3-4 situations that was near before, but fortunately I have not to fight. So it was a period when I very was curious, and I go to the special places where all the criminals are running around, but nothing happens. No? So I was waiting, but nobody attacked me. So after some years, I said, okay, nothing happened, so I can go from these places. And the time was over then for this experience. But it is better not to kill somebody, because if really somebody you attack, you have no chance. You cannot say, I'm a nice guy, so that will not work at this moment. So you have to do something. And it's better not to come in such a situation. So Swami Rama told us a story when he was in Chicago, first time when he was in America, and then some very big people come and shouting him, yeah, you are foreigner and what on, and so on and so on. And then Swami Rama kicked him on the ground, put him his foot on the chest and said, I'm your master. And he said, yes, yes, yes. Then you can go. So because he has so much power, he can kick you and you really will fly 3 kilometers. So he had a power like an elephant. And so it's better not to touch him. Yeah, once, I remember once, Swami Rama, he was very tricky. No? So he has all this power, and sometimes he was walking on the Ganga. And it was a very interesting experience because always he said to me, I can teach you this, I can teach you that, and you can jump from the mountain and all that. And so, never can touch you and so on. Nothing happens. He always was. And he was watching what I think about that. No? Can you teach me this and that? And so. But I never asked him. So we was walk on the Ganga, go over the bridge and on the other side, so on this jungle side. And then he said, take a stick and attack me. So nobody was there, no? Only my friend Wolfgang was there. So I take the stick and attack him, and he make a very simple, what we have done here, jiu-jitsu trick, so and slowly he throw me on the ground. Very simple. And then he said to my guru brother, attack him, and he want to see what he want to see what the same technique from me. But my ego comes up, and I want to show him I can it much more better than he. So my brother Wolfgang attacked me, I make this technique. And so I went, no. Okay, again. I show another technique. No. So my ego immer bigger. So, ne? Other technique, now attack, other technique. No. He said no. And then I realized he wanted to see what he was doing, what he has done. So I make it in the wrong form. He said, yes. That was all. So I was a little bit disappointed. Ne? I want to see more. It was, but he was always playing with your own ego. That was very interesting. And then later I realized what was wrong with me. So, because I want to show off my special technique. So then we was walking back to the ashram. Then he said, I want you that you teach here in India. I bring the students to you. And my brother Wolfgang was laughing. And Swami Rama asked, why do you laughing? And my brother said, he's a tough teacher. Swami Rama says, I want a tough teacher. So that was all. So after 20 years, I started a little bit teaching. And all the students ran away. So it was a funny experience with him. Ne? But sometimes he shows something, and really it's only for advanced to share this experience. He said never a word. He created something, and you have to be aware of that. This from here or from here. So, because he cannot go against the stick that will maybe crash their bone.
Because I have to move. So then return. It's dangerous. You have to move. If you're standing,
They give some weapons, practice with weapons like knife or stick or sword, because to get aware of the distance, short distance, middle distance, long distance, so that you have awareness of the space.
very dangerous because you have to control the whole body and the space. Again.
If they're very small, so weapons, so if the space is very short, they have to wear on next step, so you can expand your awareness and your energy outside.
I see you are ready, no? So I will come. So, but I want to show you that's very dangerous when somebody comes with a knife. So, if she comes in this way, you cannot make this block we have done because you cut the wrist. So you have to do another technique. So one step, not here, outside. Up to me, turn the wrist. Control is here. So, if you attack in this way, you have to change the knife because so nothing happens. So, but if you attack here in this, you have to go all right on this side. Give this, or this. So different. Also this way. First, if you make this block, it's very dangerous. So you have to go under the elbow. Actually, turn the...
Normally it is better not to kick because if you kick you will lose your balance, and when somebody knows how to use your kick, then it's very dangerous for you. No? So that's the reason why in Aikido they don't not make kicks, or they stand very stable and move from a stable position.
So practice without knife.
You know, when you kick, you stand on one leg, and when I kick this one leg, then very difficult to fall. And we have here a hard floor, and then he can serious injure when he not come down in the right way. That is the reason why we not make some movements about that. It's too dangerous.
Under the elbow, I block here the hole. If she comes down, I bring her. So under the elbow, normally attack and turn the wrist here, the knife is here. You have to imagine how is he working with a knife. It's an attack. If you make this, she will cut. So, not a young person.
She's not used to this.
Oh!
Yeah, still not good.
Oh! Very dangerous, no?
Yeah, very scary.
So I remember a story from a woman in Paris. She was practicing Aikido, older woman, and she was standing waiting for the bus station, and some men come with a knife and attack other people. And she, without thinking about, goes and throws this man, and he was running away. So she was not thinking about that. She was so strong, and in this moment she goes and attack them, and this man ran away with a knife. So, but if you think, then it's too late. No? Because if you start thinking, then it's too late. You have to, in this moment, you have to do something. That is what we are training. If somebody comes, you cannot think, oh, what I'm doing is here. It's too late. So to be in this moment is very important. So the whole energy is this moment, and then you are very successful. And if you can improve that you're really in every moment you are full of confidence. That is what stability in the mind field is. And nothing will happen. But you cannot dream because you have to be awake. The Buddha is awakening. So you have to be awake. And with this concentration and confidence, nothing will happen. So that's my experience.
Hey! Oh, that! So in the martial arts of Ki-Ai, Ki means inner, I means sound. You work with the sound, like the mantra sound and so on. You can destroy the whole world with mantras. So very powerful. So on the Vaikari level, this is Rus level, you can work with the Vaikari level. Aya! Ay, oh, ooh, ah, this is a vocal sound, very powerful. Ay! Oh! That's very, you can block, when you attack with a voice, you can block the other person mentally, and they shock, and then you are in a position, good position. So, look at the knife. She has to protect. Yes. Yes, but when I come back again, it's over. That's right.
If you really have confidence of yourself, then other people will feel it. Especially people they are living maybe only on the level of the lower chakras, where they are about fighting or they are angry or whatever. They have a very fine instinct. They feel when they see a stable person, and they avoid to have a contact with that. If you're really aware, but not give a special awareness to this, he will not react. So that is but if you are full of fear, he will react, maybe. So that is training your own mind, so that you are not fearful, but really awake, not sleeping. You see what happens. If you see maybe a crowd of young people, they are maybe a little bit aggressive, you can change the street side or whatever. Nothing happens. So it depends from your awareness and stability and relaxed mind. So I have a lot of experience. Berlin is a big city, so a lot of different people are living there, and so nothing happens. Sometimes I want to see what happened, and fortunately nothing happens. So that's a training for the mind. So especially for women is very important, because they are, when they are fearful, the attention comes so. And that is good for the women, that they have more confidence. That when they have more power, nothing happens. But if they're fearful or waiting that something will happen, it will happen. So to be free from these thoughts is very important.
So normally I break the balance and then I go against his head. It comes from the samurai sword. So I cut. No? Balance, break the balance. Then you can go a step forward. Against, but very careful.
Swami told a nice story, auch in the US. That's why young boys are shouting him, and he was standing on the road. And then he was very calm, and then he said to one boy, "Please come on my side." This boy comes, stand on the side. He said, "Watch your breath." And he was watching his breath. "Calm your mind." The boy do everything what he said. Then see, everything is fine. Bye-bye. And the boy looking at him. "Where you are, where you are, where you are." "I come with you." And so this is a nice story, isn't it? So a sattvic mind can calm a rajasic mind. So that's a sattvic mind. Swami's mind was so strong, very sattvic. So he can calm down all the aggressive people. That's probably a nice experience. I have not so a sattvic mind, I have to kick somebody.
First step is to break the balance. And the second step is then to throw. Not to hit. That's very dangerous. Normal, maybe if you really come a rubber and will attack you, you can kill it. But not here. So yoga means ahimsa. So first you have to break the balance, then throw. First balance.
Balance.
Yeah. Oh.
Make it balance.
Okay.
I have practiced some other arts before I started Aikido. But Aikido, it was really a step forward in come together, in practice together, and to accept the other partner and to work together. So that was a step forward in the. That was a step in the whole martial art in Japan. They gives not this art to practice, and the Ueshiba, he transformed that. That was his maybe most important message what he has given to the society. That come together. It was after the war. Many people died. So, and he created a new art. Not again, but come together. So it was a very new creation. And we need it. We see what happened in the world, and fight and terror and so on, and we need more come together. That's the whole life on Swami Vida was bring the people together, so not against.
Your normal thinking is always to go against. That was our mental program. We are always against something. And we want to, our ego again. So, but here, it is non-resistance. So I not again, I use the power. Not again. Very quick. So, I use the movement.
In Hatha Yoga, you sit for yourself. You make your movements, nobody can disturb you, the mind can wander through the whole world. But if somebody comes to you and says, hey, hello, I will hit here, you have to be aware and you have to work with that movement. And your mind is really in agitation, so he has to be used in a very nice way and a very way of awareness. So that's the difference in the method. That is a reason why I practice martial arts, because you work together and you make all the experience nicely or not so nicely. Though you can change it, because you are together and you can see not to against somebody, so to change your attitude in this moment. And then it comes together, and then it breaks the block in your mind. So from raga, dvesha. That's the middle path. So I have the control to change something. I come together with somebody. I'm not against him. So we are, Swami Beardi says, so his heart disease comes from his US life, because all the people are so harsh and so aggressive and so on. We see it in the society. They're running around with the guns and so on, and every year 20,000 people are died and so on. So if somebody is sensitive, it disturbs his nervous system and they create illness. No? And other are blocked it, but they get illness on the other way. So, and to stop that is everybody has done it for his own. Nobody will do it for him. He has to do it for his own to change his attitude. And then that's a wonderful art to practice. No? So Krishnamacharya, when he practicing in the 1930s, he was a chief. His chief disciple was a Maharaja of Mysore, and he comes every day, Krishnamacharya, from his small hut, 3 o'clock in the morning to the palace. He never want to get a gift from the Maharaja and so on, and he trains the people. And he was a very strong and hard teacher, very tough teacher. So, in Hatha Yoga, I give some movies and photos. You see the young boys are maybe in some asana. He stand on this boys with his body, and so very strong practice of asana and pranayama. No? So his training was so to let the people get stronger. They are not so weak with body and mind. You can practice Hatha Yoga in this way, but you will have no disciple.
Because if I bring my body not in a good position, it is dangerous and painful. So I follow, bring my body in good position. If your body is stiff, then you will pain in the legs or something else. So I'm almost with the movement.
If you practice with one together, so maybe he hurts you or you have some pain, whatever, and you are not have no agreement with him. So you can work on that in this moment.
I always work together and bring my body in a good position. So.
And you can change, so not to be angry or not to be aggressive, because you work with that and some things change your mind and your attitude. That is a fine art to practice that. on a second, on some maybe level. Then, if you go deeper, you have to meditate. It gives no chance. If you want to go deeper in your consciousness, you have to meditate. So up to this point, you can use it as a very wonderful instrument to move your body and mind together and have some experience that you are more conform and you have more confidence and more awareness in other people and can use it in a wonderful form. Then you have to shift to meditation. If you have really control over your body and mind, you can do anything. So it's not restricted. But not everybody can do that. No? So some are restricted to their form and to their art. But if you overcome all this, then you can do everything. You can, in a very short time, you can play tennis or you can play football, whatever you want to do. So it depends from your concentration.
So he strike on the head. Huh? So right side, right side. Left, left side. Right, up, step, and then next step behind his body. 1, 2. We're not standing at the position because when he is concentrated on my body, so the energy is concentrated on this point. When I move, so his energy changed. So that's when you have a mouse and a cat. The cat is concentrating on the mouse. The most energy is on this point where the mouse is. But when the mouse is running away, the cat has to jump over because the energy is lost. It's all concentrated on this. That is pratyaksha in yoga, concentrating on this point. So the energy is focused on this point. Is the point moving, energy is lost. Understand? The same as if you're standing here and he attacks you. He is really strong at this point. But when I move a little bit, he is not so strong. Because the distance changed. Yeah? Here.
The movement is limited because you can go with this movements like martial art up to one point. Then comes the next step. So you can go in a very high state of dharana, or concentration, but not meditation. Meditation means stillness, not movement. So if you want to go further, you have to go in the stillness of body and mind. But up to this point, you can move. So the mind is an instrument always in moving. Parinama always is a movement in the mind. And slowly, slowly you stop the movement. And it remains in the highest state of samadhi. In the mind field, it remains parinama, a very, very, very subtle vibration. So, and then you have overcome, if you really achieve moksha, you have overcome all this. You have to transcend the mind field. But it's a very high state. But the mind field is always moving. That's the problem, to get control over the movements. Now, that is the goal, yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. The control over the movement, the mind field. So, maybe martial art or every art can help you up to one point of dharana, to stabilize, to get more awareness about mind and body, strengthen the body, have a healthy body, and so on. And then comes a state where meditation starts, when you need stillness in body and mind.
Pratyaksha is one of the main riti. So pratyaksha means awareness through the indriyas. And they give the yogic pratyaksha through the mind. It's different. So you have to sharpen your pratyaksha, not speaking. You are talking too much and then the concentration is gone. Too much talking is always a sign concentration is gone. No? Remember Swami Beardi, no? Silence, silence, silence. So again, it gives different possibilities. Oh, right, or right, left. It's a very strong connection here. One step, another step. Take care on the elbow, you can break the elbow. So very careful and slowly. Up. If somebody makes his shoulder stiff and you throw, he can break the shoulder or the elbow. So, gives a different version here with the elbow. Okay, very slowly.
Come on. So you keep moving this way. This way or this way?
In Hatha Yoga, you start with asanas, and from asana to pranayama and shatkama. So, and then slowly, slowly up to samadhi, to meditation state. And there is it's only one movement, one asana. It's a meditation asana. You will not jump, you will not so bend forward and backward and so on. You sit still. And if you master this asana, this meditation asana is the highest asana. So Swami Veda said he has done one very intense practice with a Ganesha Gayatri, then he can sit without movement over hours. So because he has mastered the Muladhara. And that is missing in the most practice. So in yoga they give some special exercise for that, to stabilize Muladhara, so to stabilize your meditation posture. But it's not so easy to train. So Mula Bandha, Aswini Mudra, all these bandhas is to bring up the energy from Muladhara. You have to practice that. And then slowly, slowly you get control, but it's not the full control. Full control over Muladhara is if you go in deep samadhi state and bring your concentration on this chakra. And Swami wrote, if you can hold the concentration 3.5 hours without breathing, then you have master over the chakra. And then you can do everything. Nobody can move you. You are like a rock. That's the full control. Then you have control over the earth element. All the smell comes from Muladhara. So Swami Rama always really gives some gifts. So gives a lot of stories to Swami Rama. Then when he was giving a party or whatever, he asked for, do you want some smell, rose or jasmine, whatever? And then he took his hands in the handkerchief and you have the smell 6 months. That's control over Muladhara. Full control. So that's necessary for your posture and necessary for mental stability too. That's really one part of the martial art practice, to stabilize Muladhara and your stability and your emotional stability too. sometimes happens when you go from the known to the unknown. No? Swami always describe it, and then there is a little bit fear. So because you didn't know what happens. But slowly, slowly, you overcome that. It's a process. It happens not in one step, because you need some steps. Because the problem is, if you really go in the deeper state, more power is there. And this power will bring up your fears, what as an impression is in your mind. All this negative force comes up, and you are confronted with that. That creates a little bit trouble in the mind. And that is not so easy to overcome. We know that attachment can produce some negative forces. So when I'm attached and maybe to some person, and this person will go away, so we know a lot of trouble can start with this attachment. Then we have all these dramas in the families and everywhere. So Swami Rama always said real love is not attachment, but it depends from your state of consciousness. If you have an expectation, you are attached, and it creates problem. If you have no expectation, no desire, no attachment, no problem. So you have to work on that. But it is not a mentally choice. It needs to come in a state of consciousness to remove in this process the attachments. That's a process of consciousness. It happens not, I said I am not attached, so that doesn't work. I'm attached. But if you really come from meditation in samadhi, so you will only reach this state of samadhi without attachment. You cannot reach this state with attachment. It's not possible. You have to remove it. It is a long way, very hard. Especially you have a family, especially you have attached to children, whatever, and so on. So materially things, maybe it is easy to give up. But other things are more, especially in family life and so on, you have more attachment to that. But if you want to achieve moksha, you have to give up all that, because it's only time limited. If you die, you have to give up your family. So create a new one, next life. So trouble again start. But really, if you give up your attachments, it's a process, not a mental decision. So slowly, slowly, your attachment goes weaker and weaker and weaker, and your consciousness goes deeper. The reason why the yogis always said, don't have fear, so you are protected. But if you not have the shraddha, this faith, then it will be difficult. So you have to cultivate your shraddha. That's one of the 6 very important steps you have to master. Shraddha, samadhamma, and so on. Swami Vida, after his heart operation, he was here in the ashram. Sometimes he has so much pain. He described when he was sitting, maybe a hand from iron will match his heart. So he had such experience. And then when it was very painful, telephone was ringing. Swami Rama was on the telephone. Hello, doctor, how are you? And he said, very good. It was not very good. And Swami Rama said, no, I know you have some problem, but it will go. So, and it was gone. So things happen. But have you no shraddha, then it's not so positive. Shraddha is very important on the spiritual path. So slowly, slowly you can work with this energy better, but the body is always a problem. Because Annamaya Kosha is on the vibration, very slow vibration. Mind is very high vibration. If you come to the higher vibration, that gives a difference between the low and the higher, and that creates problem. But you have no chance. You have to go through. Okay, thank you very much all that you are so patient with me. So, hope to see you again. Thank you very much.